So here we go to see friends after the completion of this introduction part. So great. Let's start with the basics of computer science. So first one, introduction to computer science. Introduction to computer science. So here the definition. Computer science is the study of computers and com- computational systems. So it involves both hardware and software or hardware and software, and it includes various sub disciplines like algorithms and algorithms and data structures algorithm and data structures. So here the definition for introduction to computer science. So after the completion of this computer science definition, so now we want to move to know about overview of computer system. Overview of computer systems. So in this overview of computer systems, components of a computer system is first one, hardware. This hardware, sorry for this spelling mistake, hardware. So hardware, what do you mean by hardware in this field? So don't confuse yourself, understand this definition. After that, if you got any doubts, clear about your doubts in the comment section. So friends, hardware, physical components like CPU. CPU is nothing but central processing unit, and after memory, storage devices, input and output devices. So what do you mean by CPU? So CPU is a brain of the computer. It is a central processing unit. Note on this point, CPU is a brain of the computer. So after that, this is the definition to about these hardware. After that, we want to know about in this component section about software. What do you mean by software? You already know about that. Software means like using coding language to use software and to development, whatever it you want to know like that. So here we go to see to about software to know about clearly in this tutorial. So software means programs and operating systems that run on the hardware. So this is the meaning of this. So after the completion of these 2 points in this field, in this computer science field, so one thing, you got any doubt? So if you got any doubt, clear that in my way. So how computer works? It's very impossible to understand. Like, I mean, someone says it's impossible to understand, but not for you. Wake up. So how the computer works means by the way of input. Input means, what is the meaning of input? Means receiving the data from input devices like keyboard, mouse, etc. Order it. Okay. After this, after this completion of this, sorry for this spelling mistake in the way of this giving receiving. It's clear now. So keyboard, mouse, etc. So after the completion of this input, we want to know about processing. Processing, what the process? So everyone will be say, so one at a time, you want to buy a laptop. After that completion of buying, so what is the process? Is that your computer process is more than Windows 10, Windows 9, Windows 8. So after that, so what do you mean by processing? So processing means CPU processing or processed the data according to instructions from software. So this is the information about processing. After that, completion of those two items in this field. So output. So output, what do you mean by output? Whenever we invested input, by the way of process, we get output, if you know that. So know about clearly in this way, in this field, what is output. So here we go to see delivering processed data processed data to output devices like monitor, printer, etc. Whatever it. Okay. So after the completion of those things, so let we want to know about thought topic in this field. So what is this means? Basic concepts of concepts in computer systems. I mean a computer science. So first of all, basic concepts in computer system means, let me say example. Let me say example. So if you want to communicate to one person in your home or in your village or in your field or in your job field or in your college, so how they connect to you and how you connect to them? So because connecting or communicating with those two persons with the way of language. So normally everyone can speaks like Telugu, Hindi and English. So this is the way of communication by using these languages to one person to another person. or another persons to one person. So this is the way. So after that, in these basic concepts in computer science means, first of all we want to know about language. What is the language means? Binary language. I mean it's called as binary system. So here we go to see computers use a binary system binary system to represent and process the data. So this is the definition of binary system. So what do you mean by binary language? So if you know that Telugu language is like Bagunnava, Hindi, Acha hai, like English, are you okay? Like the way you want to speak in those languages. So in these computer science, the binary system like numbers. So this is the binary language. So binary language is also called as numerical field, and it is also called as in number formation. By the way of these number formation, these binary system will be communicates one user to operating system. It's nothing but computer, nothing but computer. So this is the way to know about the binary system or this binary language. So after that, completion of binary language. In this binary language, in this binary language, they are consider consider those two subtopics topics. They are first one, primitive data types and composite data types. So what do you mean by primitive data types? So we already know about in Python language, in every language in C, C++. So every language, in every coding language, we know what is the primitive data types. Int means integer, and float is floating. Next, after that integer, char means character, and string, example, etc., etc. So int, float, double, character, and last one is boolean. So this is those primitive data types. So after these primitive data types, so we want to know composite data types. Composite data types is nothing but arrays, strings. Sorry for these strings in primitive data types. It is not primitive data types. Int, float, char, boolean. This is the primitive data types. So in this composite data types, arrays, strings, and structures. Array strings and structures. So this is the way to understand about composite data types in this data field. I mean in this computer science field. So after that, we want to know about introduction. Introduction to fourth one. Introduction to algorithms. So what do you mean by algorithms and programming? What do you mean by algorithms means? First of all, we want to take algorithm is a subheading. So these algorithm works a step by step process. Step by step process, step by step process to solve a problem, to solve a problem or perform a task, perform a task. So this is the way of algorithms. So in these algorithms, in previous or C, C++, in every languages, these algorithms considered those shapes. I mean, those shapes like these algorithm will be starts like circle. I want to give circle is a start method, start, and parallelogram, parallelogram is an input. Okay, I mean it's a input to know about these processing data. So after that completion of parallelogram, uh, I want to give like these symbol rhombus. I mean rhombus, several so they consist several subtopics and several diagrams to show. So after that circle and end. So this is the way to start the algorithm in the simple similar manner. So after that completion of this algorithm, we want to know about programming languages. So in these programming languages, tools used to write algorithms in a form that a that a computer can execute. Example: Python dot and Java dot C plus plus. So this is the way to tools will be used to write algorithms in a form that a computer can execute by the way of given input in those these languages. So after this completion of, we want to move to know about fifth topic. So first one, basic programming constructs. So what do you mean by basic programming construct means? So similarly, first of all, variables. So what do you mean by variables in these computer science means? First of all, note the definition. Used to store data values. Used to store data values. So after that, we want to know control statements. What do you mean by control statements means? They consider subtopics like sequential. Sequential is nothing but instructions are executed in order. Second one, conditional. In these conditional instructions executed based on conditions. Everyone understand, friends? So here we go to see after that completion of these conditions. So in programming, in every programming language, conditional statements or selection state, it is also called as selection statements, but then conditional statements. In every similar programming languages, if else statements is mandatory. I mean it's constant to use every programming language. So after this condition completion of conditional, so we want to know about loops. We already know about loops, so now we want to know about here. So instructions are repeated until a condition is met. For this, using for loops, comma, while loops. So this is the way to understand control statements. So after that, control statements, it's also called as control structures. So here we go to see, I want to give another name to this, control structures. So after the completion of these, friends, so next one, functions. Functions, reusable, sorry for this spelling mistake, reusable blocks of code, blocks of code, blocks of code that perform specific tasks. So this is the way to understand. So after that, completion of this, so we want to know about in these computer science, the topic number after this completion of introduction part to computer science. So first of all, you want to learn must this page. So after this completion of page, we want to move next page. So after the completion of that, so this is the this is the second page to understand after the completion of understanding introduction to computer page 1. So next we have to see here, here we go, I want to take outline. Outline means you don't want to confuse yourself. Just first understand and concentrate on the screen with a peace of mind. It's very easy to understand and it's very easy. I mean, it's very easy to learn. It's very easy to gain your knowledge from this knowledge is a power. So first one, data structures. So data structures. So what do you mean by data structures? So here we go to see definition. So data structures are ways of organizing organizing and storing the data so that they can be accessed and work with with efficiently efficiently. So after that, here we go to see common data structures in these computer science. They consider subtopics. Sorry for this disturbance, guys. Okay, leave it. Concentrate on here in this page. So after that, common data structures. So what do you mean by common data structures means? First one, arrays. So we already know about these arrays in previous tutorials like Python. So in languages. So what is arrays means? A collection of elements identified by index or key. So this is the definition for arrays. So second one is linked lists. So what do you mean by linked list means? A sequence of elements, a sequence of elements identified by where each elements points to the next one. So this is the linked list. So after that, we want to know about stacks. So what do you mean by stacks? Means a collection of elements with last in first out. It's also called as LIFO. See in your caps, LIFO. Last in first out access. So after that, next here we go to see queues. Queues. So these queues is a collection of elements with first in first out. Difference between stacks and queues is last in first out is also called as FIFO. FIFO access. FIFO access. So friends, here we go to see after the completion of queues, fifth one, to know about trees. So what do you mean by trees? Means a hierarchical structure with a root root element and sub-elements nodes. So this is the way in trees. So sixth one, last but not least, it is one of the hash tables. So what do you mean by hash tables? Means a collection of key value pairs with efficient look up. So this is the sixth one. This is the sixth one in computer science by the concepts of an outline. So after the completion of this, we want to move to know about. So we want to know about oops in next video. So thank you for watching this, guys. So stay tuned for more tutorials to learn very easily with the understanding text. So if you like to love this video, gain knowledge from this knowledge is a power. Gain knowledge from this knowledge is a power. With a concentrated mind, with a peace of mind, we want to gain everything in knowledge. So last but not least, knowledge is a power. Knowledge is a power. So gain with a concentrated mind, with a peace of mind to gain our knowledge and try to be level up your value in educational skills in educational way. So thank you for watching this, guys. Stay tuned for next tutorial. Bye bye. Take care.